A heartbreaking vigil tonight to honor the victims of impaired driving. Hundreds of people gathered in Scarborough to pay tribute to their loved ones, and emotions were running high as candles were lit and the names and photos of the victims were displayed. Here are some of their stories.
My son James was 17 years old, and if only people would realize how much of an impact they have on families when they get behind the wheel.
My whole life changed. The day they killed JP was the day I start my life sentence. And the only thing that would stop that is when I go up and see him.
We love you forever.
Our son, Cody Andrews, was killed by an impaired driver on September 8, 2016, and it's really devastated our lives. It's not something anyone would expect to happen to them.
Cody was 23 years old. He was a skateboarder and a snowboarder. They were his biggest passions in life. And just all around, he was the happiest guy you probably would have ever met. And if you ask just about anyone, the very first thing they'll say is he's remembered for his big, beautiful smile.
He was a great brother, right?
Yeah, he was.
Great son.
Yeah.
Please don't drink and drive.
It's just too much of it going on. You see it every day. We are the victims. My son was the victim, and people are still doing it every day.
Well, we lose almost on average about 4 people a day in Canada, so it's one of the leading causes of criminal death in this country, and so it has a huge impact. And nights like this where the families get to grieve their loved ones, it really hits you. And sometimes when people are resistant, like politicians, to do legislative things that would save lives, you wish you could bring them all into the room and share the grief with these families so that they could actually do the things that would actually save a lot of lives.
Every Canadian deserves to be safe driving on our roads.
MADD Canada says the numbers for alcohol-related impaired driving are record low, but there needs to be more legislation and technology to deal with drugs on our roads, which has become a growing concern.